Hi, first of all, I want to thank everybody who comments on my videos. I don't think I've thanked you guys in a very, very long time. I really appreciate it because I may not be able to respond to all of them, especially as of late. I've been really, really insanely busy. But I really appreciate it because not only do you guys give me feedback and I learn from you, but other people also learn from you. So it's extremely valuable. And I actually keep a running list of different video ideas and things that I need to correct or whatever because of your guys' comments. So it means a lot to me that you guys participate in the discussion. And because of that, hence today's video. Now, I had an influx of people who joined our channel, who watched my videos and things. And one of them, I don't know if they actually subscribed, probably not because they had some bad things to say about my video, but I'm sharing this on your comment. So if you do like it, if it's a little bit better, you don't have to subscribe, but I just want you to know thank you for critiquing me, because I'm not perfect. Now this goes way back. Without further ado, the comment was on the Stonebridge Lantern video I did a long time ago. Because the guy couldn't see what I was showing. And in hindsight, I don't know what I was thinking. I should have reshot the video, but like I said, I'm busy. This isn't my full-time job. So anyhow, I thought I would revisit it and talk to you guys about the Stonebridge Lantern again, show you some of the cool features, and I actually have another one that I didn't have when the first one was made. So here is my second Stonebridge Lantern. This is the one that I got this past year. And this is my first Stonebridge Lantern. Now, the Stonebridge Lantern was patented in 1906, and at the very onset, it was marketed to the military, and it was also marketed to the booming camping phenomena. Now, it took a little while to take off, but once it took off pretty hard, and it got a lot of people to back it, especially those who are famous in the outdoor industries, including none other than the Horace Kephart. Now, Horace Kephart was a phenomenal writer. He's a very educated man. He actually worked at the university as a librarian. Then he kind of became a hermit and made his living selling articles to various outdoor magazines. And unfortunately, he passed away in the early 1930s. I think it was South Carolina or North Carolina. I don't remember off top. But he was one of them who promoted the Stonebridge Lantern. And other people did as well, especially scouters like Dan Beard. There was an article that I read where he was promoting a folding lantern. The Stonebridge Folding Lantern, being 1 pound and 7 or 8 ounces, isn't super light, but what was really nice about this candle lantern is that it folds up into a very packable, easy to transport method. And that in itself speaks to why it lasted so long and why they're not super rare. They're kind of uncommon, I guess, but they're not super rare. You can find them on eBay all the time. But it's one of the reasons why they were sold so long even after batteries and flashlights and other electronic lanterns became available, because you could pack this away. The fact that it has mica panes, it's not going to break, unlike glass, and candles are cheap, right? So they made a couple different versions of this. This is the steel version, the tin version. They also made an aluminum version, and they made a brass version. I have only seen one aluminum version in person. And if you want to know who owns that aluminum version, I'm going to put a link to their channel down below. I met him at the Gather thing in West Virginia. He brought that along with him, along with the super rare leather case for it. It was really cool, but it was also very fragile. And that's one of the reasons why Horace Kephart, in his writings about this, he suggested getting either the brass or this one. Now, because the aluminum was super light, if you're doing ultralight backpacking and everything, you've got that going for you. But it was very fragile because aluminum, especially at the thin gauge that they use, was easily bent and easily damaged. This, however, is pretty bomb-proof. And they did some cool things to this to really make it, I don't know, stand out. There are a couple reproductions, or I think there's one company that's reproducing these. They're not 100% accurate, but they get most of the points correct. First of all, it's foldable. Secondly, they use mica glass panes. We can see here clearly the Stonebridge Folding Lantern, patented November 20th, 1906, June 9th, 1908. C.H. Stonebridge Manufacturing Company, New York City, made in the USA. Now, notice how the date says 1908. So this is before World War I. And it came out, like I said, just the right time to just really kick off because, not too long after this, you have the Model T come out, people are camping and everything, but on top of that, you have military applications thanks to World War I. So being at the right place at the right time certainly goes a long way. You can see here the air vents on both sides to regulate the airflow. So if it starts to go out a little bit, you can add just a little bit more air in there, but that's also going to make the candle burn down a lot faster, burn a little bit hotter. If we open this up, you can see the mechanisms here that's going to help it fold down. See those flaps right there? So there you go. You can see the nail hole. This is the back part where you would put your extra mica. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get any out. I've had to do it once or twice at this point. You got the wire on the inside so that any pressure on the outside can only go so far. So that's pretty handy when you're folding everything up. You can also see here pretty clearly the size of the candle. The size of the candle right there. Okay, so on the back side, you have the smaller diameter. On the front side, you have the larger diameter for the candle. Then you got this pressure button here. Now all that does is it literally just puts pressure. It doesn't really lock it. It's just enough pressure to keep it in there, to keep it down. And then you can see how it folds up. Like so. Oops, I might have folded it backwards. No, I had it right the first time. All right, so you fold it up like so, bring it down, then you go ahead and latch it. Now you got yourself a nice, handy dandy, portable candle lantern that adds ambiance to any camping or outdoor situation. It weighs quite a bit. Bring out the old scale here. So it weighs almost 2 pounds, 1 pound, 8 ounces and some change. So that's pretty heavy, all right? But, you can't beat classic ambiance like that. And if you are camping, why not? Now, what's really ingenious about this is it is self-folding. You can see here the vent as I close it, so does those little flaps. Those little flaps help it to distribute the heat. So it's not going directly up and burning everything. It's really only getting one part hot, and that's here in the center. I think that's pretty useful. Some people may not care, but when you have a lantern that's putting up a tremendous amount of heat, even the wire can get a little bit, can get pretty warm. But because it's distributing it here in the middle, by the time it transfers up the wire and you're holding it, it's not bad at all. You don't notice the heat whatsoever. Okay, now this version here is the exact same version, exact. The only difference is that it's stamped with a medical caduce, because during World War I, they used these for the ambulances. They actually issued them to the medical corps during World War I because they're so lightweight, they're foldable, and you can use them. You don't have to worry about batteries. During World War I, they had early batteries, they had early electric lamps and lanterns, but those were a little bit bulkier. And if you want one, I know a guy who's reproducing an early 20th century light lantern. I'll plug him here, Sarge Vining at Vico Outfitters. So check out my buddy Sarge. He's got one if you want an early 20th century electric reproduction lantern. Now it's not 100% accurate, and he admits that himself, but check it out nonetheless, and you can see it, and it works pretty well. He did a video on it, I think, a couple weeks ago. But anyhow, getting back to the lantern. So the Stonebridge lantern lasted into the 1930s. The Boy Scouts adopted it full hog. Now after the 1930s, suddenly it's, you don't see them. But even into the 1930s, the Boy Scouts of America was printing them in their catalogs and promoting it. So you have people like Horace Kephart, you have Dan Beard, you have Greenbar Bill. I don't think I've ever recalled Nesmith or George Washington Sears mentioning them, but he was pretty old in the game when these things finally came out. And he was also a lightweight backpacker. But if you know if George Washington Sears or Nesmith promoted these, put them in the comment below. Again, that way it helps us and it educates me, or at least refreshes my memory. I'd really appreciate it. So there you have it. That is the Stonebridge Lantern. There's not a whole lot to them, except they're compact. I really like them. And if you've never been at a camp out with just candlelight, not kerosene, not acetylene, not white gas, you know, with like the Coleman lanterns or something, having a camping experience with just candles is truly a beautiful, awesome experience. I've had that pleasure since I started Civil War reenacting, and when I really want that experience, where I really want to get back to the roots of camping, I like to take these. I like to set them up around my camp. I even like to go to bed with one of these candles lit. You know, it's really, really dim, and as it goes down, you know, it's very calming. So anyhow, if you like this video, please click like. That way other people find it. We really appreciate it. Now, if you are one of the ones who commented on my videos and giving me some constructive criticisms, I do appreciate them. You know, keep them clean, keep them nice, and like this, I'll redo them. There's lots of other videos I need to redo too. In fact, I think for the next month or two, that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to revisit the old ones that people may have never seen or they've forgotten about, update them a little bit, give you a little bit better footage, and I'll see you guys later. So anyhow, if you like this video, again, click like. If you want to see a video about the Preston Mess Kit, which we're trying to get 500 people interested in, check it out here. You can go in the description box below, and there's a link down there so you can sign up for it, and there's a lot more history and stuff to it. If you want to see videos about vintage camp crafting gear, then check it out here. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. Give a kiss out to your loved ones, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.